All right, looks like we're live here. Welcome, everyone. Um, Live on YouTube. Let's see if we're gonna get here live on Facebook as well. Oh, great. Looks like we're live on both. We can do YouTube and Facebook. How about that? That's cool. All right. That Make sure this is all working. All right, this makes me happy. Great. Happiness. Happiness is good, right? All right, so my name is Scotty Bramer. Thank you for joining us. Just going to do a quick little live here because this is something I'm looking to share with the world. My musical journey, my spiritual journey, and what I've learned from it, and how we can apply what I have gone through for your benefit. Oh, yes. Sounds evil enough, but well, I'd say it's pretty dark enough, but definitely some light at the end of the tunnel there, and I think it's can definitely illuminate some of the lesser seen issues with music that people have. So when I was coming up and learning music early on, just a little bit of background, I feel like I did so very unconsciously. I had good teachers. I even went to music school, studied music all throughout high school, college, and I have all great things to say um, about all of it. And at the same time, I think there were things that were not taught, and it led me to major frustrations. And it's not just about music; it's all of life, and it's a whole range of different things: trauma, belief systems, family dynamics, all kinds of different layers, emotional aspects. And music is a very feeling kind of thing, right? It's not so cold and lifeless like some aspects of life can seem or can be. Music is it's got a little soul to it, right? It's a little more from the heart, and so that's why I think that in our musical um, pedagogy, I guess you could say that's the right pronunciation. Um, Musical education. We discussed the one element of the of music, kind of half of it, what I would refer to as the masculine side, the notes and chords and the stuff, even articulations, phrasing, some basic stuff around feel, although we don't really go deep into feel and what that actually is and how that has to do with our system and our body and our mind and our spirit, very important spirit, and that's a real thing. The body is also somewhat real, but it's but spirit is also really where it's at and where it's very real, and we don't discuss these things on deeper spiritual levels or deeper emotional levels. So yeah, we discuss the masculine side, and we kind of ignore the feminine side, the flow, the spontaneity, the kind of craziness, the long hair. Just kidding, but it's kind of part of it. Um, and I think that those things are very important. Discussing energy, discussing how we feel, and how we can use our breath and our body and our mind and integrate all these different elements into our playing. So maybe just a quick background. So I learned very unconsciously, went through the whole system, um, and I've always played music and loved it. Got to a certain point, but I felt stuck, blocked, not completely. My life didn't seem to take off in the way that maybe some others did. Um, and it led me to frustrations and a lot of questioning. Now, that led me to starting to have spiritual experiences that led me to question reality, and there's a whole other kind of story. Of course, I'm sharing these things on my website, www.scottybrainwardmusic.com, and in life as well, and as part of my new album, Between Two Worlds. But I'm also here to share it in the context of music education. Um, because what I discovered through my awakening journey was that, oh, I'm actually looking for something more than just to play and just focus on the all the numbers of notes. I can have all the notes in the world and still not be totally satisfied or happy. But what I discovered was I could just have one note and that could feel like absolute bliss and beauty in my entire body. Um, and I highly recommend the book Effortless Mastery because that was sort of a one gateway for me into my illumination. And playing music was kind of a struggle. I had to force it. I felt like my energy was all over the place. But after learning how to listen, get beyond my thinking mind, tune my breath and my body, and be able to play a single note and feel and really get in touch with feeling. That's kind of the key. Um, Getting grounded in the body and learning to feel again. Um, that's kind of the real gift in all of it. Um, so being able to just simply, instead of trying to play all the notes all at once, and like they tell you in school, you have to get it all. You have to memorize all these things for the test, which you then soon forget, of course. No, I think humans can learn at their own rate, and all students can learn at an individual rate. There's no one size fits all like there is in school. So it's all about learning how to play one note and then a second note and have those two notes come together easily and effortlessly. And have the pick go from this note here to this note gently without having to struggle or try so hard. Music and of course life too ultimately shouldn't have to be that much of a struggle. Forcing and cramming a bunch of notes into our fingers, I think it could be a lot easier. In fact, if we look at the best players like Charlie Parker, the Masters, Coltrane, how are they able to play like that? Well, it's got to be programmed into their body and into their subconscious mind, right? These are things that I never really thought about ahead of time or earlier in my journey. But I realize that if I want to learn something, let's say a piece of vocabulary, and really integrate it so it's not just a lick or regurgitation or whatever, but it actually becomes kind of part of my language, just like the language we speak and converse and improvise on a day-to-day basis with people, same kind of thing. Let's say I have a piece of vocabulary that's new. Well, I can learn how to train, or I can train my body how to play it so that I don't have to think about it. And it just happens. Where I can breathe and let it happen on its own. If I try to rush this process, what's going to happen? Trying to run before you walk, right? What's going to happen? You stumble. But what if I take my time and train my energy to play this? And pay attention to my posture and how I feel first and foremost. Putting my intention inwardly in my mind ideally would be more quiet, but if there's thoughts coming, well, then that's something we might be talking about. The mind, right? It's an important part of it. The mind might be saying something and might have important things to share with us. And it also just might be going and going and going. So we have to use both approaches to quiet or not quiet it, because you can't really do that, but to allow it. But focus our attention on what we're playing. That's one side of it. The other side is to listen to the mind, see it as a part of us, see what it's saying, understand ourselves on a deeper level. So that's kind of one of the more mental, emotional sides of this process, which, by the way, I call the improviser's way, and it's a method for guitar alchemy, guitar improvisation, healing, and musical fulfillment. So that's kind of the background here. And as I share more, I have all kinds of different exercises and ways of thinking about this, and also how to relate our personal lives to music, because as within, so without. The music that we share and express is ultimately a reflection of who we are and how we see ourselves, how much self-love we have cultivated, and how much we know ourselves. And I'd say it's a lifelong journey and process. We never get there. It's always going to be a tuning or refinement process and a practice. So this is a line, the line that I played earlier. It's a line from a really awesome Walter Smith saxophone player who played "I'll Be Seeing You" on his own record Twio. And so the full line is. What is it? Okay, so that's kind of all we need for now. Great line, right? Over 251. F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat. And so, of course, at the beginning when I first transcribed it, and transcribing is really important here because it causes us to listen and focus our attention. Of course, at the beginning, I wasn't able to play that whole thing just off the bat, right? Nobody just does it until you get more comfortable and becomes easier to do faster. But I was able to slow it down, train my energy, and train my fingers to simply flow on their own. Also train my ears to hear this line. Train all the notes in the technique aspect too. I would say you kind of need to hear the line, be able to know what it sounds like in order to play it and have it become a part of you. Just like you need to know the sounds of a word for it to become part of your vocabulary. So that's kind of where I might end for today, just kind of a little introduction there. So once again, Scotty Bremer. If you're watching this, now it's April 1st, and on April 3rd, I have a really fun show coming up at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown LA. So if you're still tuning in and watching this and you're around LA, it's going to be 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. Really amazing band, Sam Barsh on piano, Emiliano Lasonsky on bass, and Mark Ferber on drums. It's going to be a blast. So come on out, free show. Biltmore in downtown LA. Also, feel free to check out my website, www.scottybremermusic.com. And I have my album for sale, Between Two Worlds, or you can message me for a hard copy. Those are $20 or $11.11 on digital on Bandcamp. And please reach out if you'd like to work together one-on-one on this process or musical improvisation, where I help you get beyond your mind and dissolve your limitations, perceived limitations, because who we are is infinite and purely, truly capable of all the fulfillment that we want. So with that, I wish you all a beautiful evening and look forward to talking again soon.